Hey folks, Mid Management Gamer here. Just got a couple of projects in the works. So this right here, Returnal, is my casual game. I recorded this video separate, and I'm going to kind of narrate my way through it. It's just me with fighting the first boss in the first act. Okay, so here we go, Returnal. So whenever you leave off, it's automatically going to start you off where you suspended your last playthrough. And like I said, some of this video is going to be pre-recorded footage. Some of it's going to actually be me playing. And whenever you come back to life, you're always like haunted by visions from the period between death and starting out. So, again, this video is really just a run at the boss on the first act, who I've already actually beaten at this point in the game right here. So, but I did want to give some, background if you've never played Returnal 4. If you're like me and you've been sleeping on this game for the last 3 years, you get a map. The map is procedurally generated. So basically, you're always going to find the same rooms, but how they're connected and in which path. And you may not get a room in one playthrough that you get in another playthrough, but there's ones that are always kind of like there. There's like a shop that's going to have, in the first biome anyway, there's going to be a shop that's got several different items you can buy, which is important because when we do this boss run, we're going to want to buy an astronaut item. It'll greatly increase your ability to make it through the boss battle. So you run through different biomes. And I haven't looked up anything on this game. I haven't watched anybody else's videos on this game. So basically, this is all just stuff I've picked up and kind of put together, and some of it may be completely wrong. But basically, if you run through the biome, enemies are going to appear. You're going to kill them. Eventually, once you kill all the enemies in like a room, they're not going to respawn. At least it doesn't seem like it. And typically, there's two different types of doorways out of a room. There's these ones that have, you can see in the bottom of the screen there, there is a, like you can see I'm looking at the door. It's kind of square. Sometimes there's triangular doors. It seems like square leads to rooms that have more than one exit. And triangle doors lead to rooms that don't have an exit. So if you come into a room and you see down here, I got a triangle door to the left and a square door to the right. I'll run through the triangle door, and it should be a dead-end room or like a room with just like a chest in it. As you can see, this one's just got a chest in it, and I don't have a key to open it. So this is a room I'd want to backtrack to. The bottom corner down there is next to the mini map is 3 different icons. The top one would be ether. The middle one would be key. So once I have a 1 there, I can unlock this chest. And the one below that is obolites, which is your currency. And then the PlayStation uses haptic controls. So you lightly tap this one, you're going to get aim. You hold it down, you get alternate fire once you've unlocked it. And you're always going to start off with the handgun. And then it's got your status here over on the right: weapon damage, protection, proficiency rate, repair efficiency, alt fire, cooldown. That stuff will change as you get a playthrough. So right now I just started this run, so I don't have anything as far as stats go. There are permanent upgrades that you'll unlock as you go through. So like when you first start, you won't have alt fire. There's a trophy and weapon charger here. It gives you alternate fire. This hermetic transmitter lets you use teleporters, which allows you to move around the biome quicker once you unlock them. And then I have a Xenotech prism, which gives me an additional consumable slot. You start off with 1 consumable slot, and they do a variety of things. And then we also have the house key, which unlocks this weird house that you find, which apparently is your house. So your character's kind of like losing her mind, dying and being reborn over and over again. Will probably do that. So I don't know if she's like hallucinating some of these things or if they're actually there, and she's haunted by this weird 20th century spacesuit guy. Um, and she has some backstory. She talks about her mom was an astronaut and there was an accident, and that's why she went on to become an astronaut. And then the Crimson Key, this is what you get after you do the boss fight that I'm going to show you here in a second. You keep your ether, which is type of currency, from one life to the next. So if you save up a lot of ether on the first run, you don't spend it. Then when you die, you can go through a second run. You can use it to kind of buy some items, also to unlock chests that are malignant, which will give you malfunctions on your suit. So right now, again, modified sidearm. It's 0 level. Down in the bottom left-hand corner down there is my life bar, and right below that is my proficiency bar. The proficiency bar will build up as I kill enemies and as I as you unlock calibrators. Calibrators give you an improved efficiency, which allows you to unlock stronger weapons, which makes you stronger. Every time you die, your proficiency is going to reset, your guns are going to reset. So picking up calibrators is a real quick, easy way to build your weapons. And as you use a weapon, you unlock different traits like homing missile, ricochet, snub-nosed barrel, burst fire, and then as you get higher proficiency, you'll unlock better versions of the weapon. So like whenever I pick up the tachyomatic carbine, I'm going to have armor piercing, critical hit typically is on there automatically now that I've unlocked armor piercing. And then high caliber was a second tier proficiency, so now it's like stronger bullets. And then like the Spitmaul blaster here, the top ones are ones I've already unlocked. The ones on the second tier, the explosive spit and the rapid spitter, I haven't unlocked yet. This is kind of like your shotgun version of a gun, and I guess we'll see what those unlock when we get them. And then there's a weapon trait progress bar, so as you fill that bar, you unlock those traits, which is kind of cool. And then in this data bank, it shows you all the different like artifacts you can get. And the one that I mentioned earlier that we're looking for is this astronaut figurine. When you first get it, it doesn't tell you what it does. It kind of reminds me of the coin that Wade Watts unlocks in Ready Player One for getting a perfect game of Pac-Man. It gives him that extra life. Which is kind of cool. But again, it doesn't tell you what it does. So I didn't find out until I was in the middle of a boss fight and I died and I got this second chance. So I don't think you can unlock this until you find the house key and unlock the house for the first time. Then you can start getting this astronaut figurine. All right. So that is basis of what we got going on in the game so that you'll understand what's going on when I do the boss battle here in a second. Again, standard movement, jump. You have a little jetpack, so you jump a little bit higher than a normal human would be able to. And there is a dash. When you dash, you are invulnerable. So you can dash through bullets. You can like jump towards somebody and then dash back, which is kind of cool. You might like trick them into doing an attack. It's kind of like a feint. Certain enemies do different attacks when you get closer, so that's kind of cool. And we got a sword, which lets us knock out shields and do melee damage. And there's different things that you can unlock for that as well, different skills for your character. So there we go. That's your basis for what's going on in Returnal. Oh, before we do the boss fight, let me show you this. So if you pick up those green items on the ground, they're either suit integrity or life. Doesn't really help you in the boss fights because I don't think that there's anything that'll cause them to spawn in a boss fight. So just a heads up. But if you go into some of these trap rooms where you fight waves of monsters, there's typically some health laying around. So you might not want to pick it up as soon as you go in, but as your life starts going down, you can kind of circle around the enemies and pick them up. All right. So the last thing before we jump into the boss fight, I mentioned that the astronaut figure will greatly improve your chances of fighting the boss. There's typically in the first biome this kind of like it's a shop, and there's different items you can buy, and they have different costs on obolites. The number in the parentheses is how much you have. The number to the left of it is how much it costs. I've already purchased it, but there was an astronaut figure there for sale. Um, so I purchased that prior to going into the boss fight. Um, and then I also purchased a like a shield generator. Something else. It's a one-time use item that can help you when you get to the boss. All right, and here's the boss battle. So you fall down into this pit here, and I want to say his name's like Prixum or Prism, or I don't know. There he is. He's got 3 arms. He's all messed up. He's got 3 health bars. So I'm on the first one here. He's going to send out this wave of purple things that kind of rain down from the ceiling. You want to get close to him to avoid him, but that's kind of like his version of a feint. He'll draw you in, and then he uses his 3 hands to launch streams of bullets at you. So the rain thing, and then the 3 streams of bullets. So just got to be careful on that. And then typically after he does the rain and a couple of those bursts, he's going to do this charge move. Here's what you're looking for here. He pulls the energy together and then shoots a burst out of his helmet. You just kind of dodge to the right. When you get to the second variation of him, second health bar, he's going to do a tougher version of that, where he kind of shoots it at you, but also in an arc, and it does an explosion. And then periodically he'll do this teleportation move where he dumps down into the mist and then jumps towards you. So I'm about to take out his first form here, and his name's Phrike, or Phreke. So first form down, second form. He looks the same, but his moves get a little bit tougher. Now he's going to do a melee attack periodically if I get close to him. There it is. He shoots it at the ground, and then he'll do the melee attack. So as you're trying to, let me show you that again. So as you try to dodge this, you want to get close to the red wave so that you can jump over it or dash over it. But at the same time, he's going to jump at you with a melee slash. So it's kind of like a feint move on his part to set you up for damage. And you can just kind of dodge to the left or dodge to the right when he does that. When he does the rain move, there's a few more balls this time coming down. See, he always follows that with a melee strike. So you can stay at a distance, dodge the melee strike, and then jump and dash over the wave that's coming at you. When he does the kind of like red fireball move here, he does a lot more. The first round, he only does 3. Second round, he does 6 or 7, sometimes 8. I don't know if you have to do a certain amount of damage and he stops, but yoink. About to take out form number 2. All right. Here's form number 3. Now he does multiple slashes when he attacks you with the melee, and now the purple balls come at you from the ground. So you're trying to dodge the purple balls while also dodging the beam weapons that he's using and his melee. So he can still do the rain move, but he shoots 2 waves this time. And that's me dying right there. That's the astronaut figure bringing me back to life. And I think it says, yep, returned by astronaut figurines. I'm down to half life, and I've gone through a full bar already. And I had, and now he tracks you with the laser and keeps it going, which is awesome. And because I don't have any adrenaline boost on my character, I don't have the improved vision that shows you where his weak spot is. But I think if you shoot him in the head, it does extra damage. But really, if you focus too much on where you're shooting, if you focus too much on where you're shooting, it gets hard to kind of dodge the bullets that are flying at you. I guess that's kind of where the difficulty lies. You know, you need to balance how much damage you're dealing to the enemy while making sure you're not taking too much damage. Um, and this is the first and only boss I fought so far. So I don't know how difficult it actually is going to get. Um, it took me basically 3 attempts at this boss to beat him. I fought him once by myself, and then I fought him once with my brother, and then this was my third go. Because again, when you die, if you don't have a like a regenerator pod unlocked or an astronaut figurine, you're going to go all the way back to the beginning of your run. You're going to have to redo getting all your weapons and everything like that. So it's very frustrating. So you want to plan and plot your run at a boss. Super important. Make sure you have, again, a figurine, a shield generator, something like that that can help you sustain some damage, and maybe there's also health kits that you can carry. They're called like Silphum vials, I think. Um, it seems like every time I've found one, I needed to use it immediately on my run because I was dying. But anyway, if you've never played the game and this is your first time seeing this boss, I hope the information is helpful to you. So you can see his different style of attacks and maybe prepare your style of dodging and gunplay you might need. Um, if you have any tips for me, feel free to drop them in the comments. I hope you liked the video, and if it's your first time playing, I hope you're enjoying the game. If you're old hat, maybe it'll cause you to dig the game back out and give it another go. Anyway, Mid Management Gamer here, signing off. Adieu.